Now, Larry took a quick little W with slapping this nigga, but then he takes another L.
Can you have girlfriends that have guy friends? Hell no.
So someone asked her, can he have girlfriends since you have guy friends? And this is how she responds.
Can you have girlfriends that have guy friends? Hell no. Not allowed. Only wife. That's it. That's the standard. What you gonna do about it?
Well, you don't trust me?
My sister's your wife. Oh my.
But that's a double standard. You're saying you can have guy friends.
But these are not like a new guy friends. These are guy friends I had for like decades. Over a decade. So that's a different. And you met him.
Yeah.
Bro, I just had to put this shit. I just put the fucking, like, I don't even know what to say to this shit, bro. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the fuck? Like, see, this is what I tell y'all niggas, bro. Number one, if you're gonna get a foreign chick like her, you keep her where the fuck she's at, okay? This woman has clearly been poisoned by Western ideology of where she thinks she's equal to a man, she could call the fucking shots and everything else like that, right? But let me be honest here. Her behavior is a direct representation of Larry not putting her in her fucking place.
Bombocat!
Let's just keep it all the way a million. The reason why she behaves this way is because he allows it. And it's fucking painful for me to see someone like this who has a huge audience, been in the fitness industry forever, one of the strongest guys in the world, but he doesn't even have the mental toughness to be able to tell this bitch to shut the fuck up and stop embarrassing him. It's fucking embarrassing. I'm in pain watching this. No fucking double standards. Bro, shut the fuck up. You're a woman. Shut the fuck up. There's nothing that infuriates me more than when women try to fucking subvert your authority over them. That's so fucking annoying. It's the worst. Why is she even talking? Why are you allowing her to talk? Every time she opens her mouth, she makes you look worse. Like, what's wrong with this nigga, bro? Like, I'm legitimately, like, pissed off watching this. You're a fucking multimillionaire famous, and you're letting some fucking dumbass Serbian bitch make you look like you're a fucking bitch. Bro, you could get 10 of these girls. Okay? Like, what? Nigga, like, look.
Can you have girlfriends?
Can you have girlfriends? And then look what she says. Someone probably asked her this in the chat.
I have guy friends?
And she has guy friends, by the way.
Hell no.
And she says, hell no. As if she's the boss in the relationship. And this is how she feels, by the way. The fact that she's openly talking like this in public, mind you, she's doing this shit on camera, in public, with thousands watching. She has no fucking respect for Larry, bro. None. None. And you guys are going to see why here in a little bit. But this is fucking horrible. I watched this clip and I legitimately started to get irate for him. This, my friends, is what happens after years of unchecked behavior, poor behavior from women. This is what you end up with. When you don't tell your girl to shut the fuck up, when you don't tell her, yo, you got to do this, when you don't give her instruction, she's headed for destruction. And this is what ends up happening. This is a fucking travesty. Embarrassing. Embarrassing, bro. All right, we're going to cut to OSS because we're going to go ahead and cover this documentary here. This shit is crazy and it gets really spicy. We're going to keep cooking. But Johnny Bravo just covered the Larry Wheels files. All right, let's get into it.
I had this for a long time, but I felt at the time that it was so, and I've had this for a long time, but I felt at the time that it was so personal. It was so, like I said, I've been getting nightmares. You guys are probably going to have them too now every time you think of Larry's face or see it on the screen. I felt bad to put it out there in the public. So the first thing I saw was Larry wearing this purse like, you know, someone else we know. That piece of shit, Peggy Watson.
Excuse me? What you got? What you got for us?
Okay.
What you got for us, here? Oh, wait.
Oh, boy. Let me help you with
Buy
that.
another watch for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of materialism. You guys know how I feel about materialism. And this is the thing. It's like rampant here in Miami, dude.
You're such a legend, man.
I was like, what's next? Does he want to get pegged like him too, that asshole? Then I saw his sharmuta wife with Rampage.
Nigga called her sharmuta, bruh. That means whore in Arabic, guys.
Playing with her hair, smiling, flirting, and all these inside jokes between them all.
No, I don't mess with married women. My wife knows how to do jiu-jitsu.
You know jiu-jitsu?
Just try it out, man.
No. Brother.
I was like, I knew something's going on. But when I found out the real story, I wish I did it. Because now I'm sick from this shit.
Johnny Bravo does a lot of good editing. It's hilarious, bruh.
So do you guys remember what Larry, that piece of shit, did? How he robbed his good friend Daniel for $50,000 for a down payment of his house and never paid him.
And just so you guys know, Larry was like a porn addict. I'm sure he probably still is to some degree because you really can never get over it. It's very difficult to do. But bro was spending like $10,000 to $50,000 a month on cam girls, bro, which is fucking insane. Insane.
Sent back, and now that guy is stuck driving around in Ubers and feeding his family McDonald's. You guys remember that shit, right? Well, while I was investigating that story, I saw files and files of information on Larry, messages, conversations. I spoke personally to people that were the closest to him, and I heard stories and seen shit that I never wanted to see again, because since then, I've been having nightmares about all that sick shit, and I never wanted to release it so you guys won't have those same nightmares. But now that the word is out, and, you know, I've heard since then, other people are hurt by Larry's actions. You guys, you know, saying, John, release the Larry files, release the Larry files. I said, you know what? You guys want to see this shit? Because he's an asshole? I'm going to show it to you. But you know how I always say, you know, get out your popcorn, your goobers, Milk Duds, meat, the purple Skittles. I don't know if I could tell you that this time, because if you do, you may spit that shit out when I show you this shit.
Yeah, he even warned me that this gets kind of graphic. That's another reason why I cut to OSS as well. He said that this thing gets really graphic.
They're assholes. He wants that Eddie Kick money, right? Because we know he doesn't have the money, even though he pretends he does. You know, he can't even pay the guy back $50,000. Well, now we see him.
Yeah, that's crazy. Basically, guys, what happened was he struck a deal apparently with some guy to give him equity in the business, and he was paying him for a bit, then he stopped paying him, which is fucked up. Really fucked up.
Right? With his wife, pimping out his wife all over for attention. And there's all this shit going around. You know, why is Larry acting like a cuck? You know, pimping out his wife like this. What's really going on behind the scenes?
Oh, no. Who did this?
Me.
What?
Yeah, bro must be really hurting for money, bro, to subject himself to this bullshit. Because the problem is that he's not getting the right fans, right? So, like, how you build your audience is sometimes more important than even building the audience. If you build your audience off of, like, shit like this, rage baiting and having your girl constantly undermine you and shit like that, like, yeah, you might get some quick money here, some views here and shit like that, but you hurt your reputation in the long run, bro. People are watching your demise for entertainment. You know what I mean? They're not watching because they actually fuck with you. They're just watching to see you crash out, and that's not, you don't want that, dude. It's not worth it. I'd rather have... Let me explain. I would rather have 2,000 people that actually like me, right, and are watching me for me, than have 10,000 waiting for me to crash out. That's how important it is to build like a real audience that fucks with you, not with the bullshit antics. That makes sense? Like Fuzzy got involved in this trap a year ago, if you guys remember. Remember Fuzzy had all these meltdowns and shit like that? It got to a point where he had to become more and more erratic to maintain viewership. And he had to crash out more and more to maintain viewership. And you don't build a real audience doing that shit. You just got a bunch of like, you know, fair weather niggas watching to see you crash out. So you have to keep fucking upping the ante to maintain the audience. In the short term, it's great for views. In the long term, it's horrible. And obviously, you can't sustain that shit. That's why he had to check himself into you know, a rehab center and all this other shit. I'm not saying that to like knock Fuzzy, but that's just an example I can give you guys of how that shit comes back to bite you in the ass. You know? Short-term viewership is almost never worth it. So, anyway,
After all the memes that have been going viral on the internet, this is what you come up with?
Yeah.
While I'm on live?
Oh, that's funny. Myra, and he says, I see trouble in the road. So that was like the second or third time he DM'd me and then I sent his message because I heard what?
Bro really thought that he was about to cuck me.
Well, in one of those streams,
I didn't have to do it. You cucked yourself.
Larry and his wife started talking trash, not about Greg Doucette, right? Because Greg made some videos back, but about Greg's girlfriend started making fun of her looks. And when Greg saw it, he said, you know what, Larry? You got personal with me. I'm going to get personal back. And in the past, I gave Greg a couple screenshots showing that Larry was really a cuck, and I knew it this whole time.
You say whatever you want to Coach Greg. I don't care. But when you go and attack my girlfriend for no reason, who did nothing wrong at all, well, you're then making it personal. And so since you want to get personal, I'm now going to talk about the things that I know and that I actually have proof. And so Larry Wheels is actually a cuck. And I'm not suggesting maybe, I'm not saying I think, I'm saying that I know. One day I want you to text me about this kind of stuff and talk to me like a cuckold with a bowing down sign. He's going to get tag teamed by Coach Greg and Jon Bravo, two of the most infamous characters on the internet that you don't want around with. And I'm not talking about actually having sexy time with us. I'm talking about messing with us, poking the bear.
So now going back on what I was saying earlier, when I was investigating the story of how you robbed Daniel, I've had this shit, and I've had this shit for a long time. But I felt at the time that it was so personal. It was so sick. Like I said, I've been getting nightmares. You guys are probably going to have them too now every time you think of Larry's face or see it on the screen. It was so sick, I felt bad to put it out there in the public. So since then, I've gotten closer with some of the people, multiple women that were in Larry's life. And I've built strong relationships with them, and they've shown me things, they've told me things. And I feel really bad for them because they were deeply, and still to this day, deeply affected by their relationship with Larry. And it's their story to tell, and I'm not going to tell their personal stories here. That's up to them to say it. But what I will say is...
And I estimate that the floodgates are going to fucking go crazy over the next couple of days on this situation. People are going to, you guys know how it is. It's going to be like a Me Too, but like a cuck too, right? That's what's going to happen here more than likely. Floodgates are going to open, bruh.
Is that their lives are deeply affected by what he did to them till this day. I mean, I know one girl, she doesn't even want to have a boyfriend again, and she can't even have sex since Larry, because that's how much these things affected her. And do you guys remember, years ago, one of Larry's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. I remember this girl and him got like an altercation. She tried to say that he assaulted her or something like that, and he proved that she was lying.
Came out, made a video, right? Claimed that he cheated on her with not just women, with men, spent all his money on chatterbait, and she said a bunch of other things in the video. Well, quickly, that was dismissed, and people, forgot about it. But since then...
I remember it. But she also lied, too, that like, because she assaulted him as well, and he recorded part of it. So she lost a lot of credibility.
And, I've heard similar stories from multiple women in Larry's life.
It took a really long time for me to admit this to myself, even in privacy. It took a lot of talking to professionals, and it took a lot of space from him to, really understand what I had been dealing with in my relationship with him for years. And that is abuse. And I mean, that's abuse across the board: physical, mental, emotional, and narcissistic abuse with this person. Starting with the cheating aspect, like I said, I've been with him for 5 years, and he's cheated on me for 5 years, since day one. This is cheating on me with a woman. This is cheating on me with the man. This is cheating on social platforms. I've even had women from Chatterbait reach out to me and inform me of their relations with one another.
So now Larry's behavior, Rob and his friend, the $50,000, still not paying him back at all, still driving around in the Uber. Multiple stories from multiple women of him really destroying their lives. And now that he's been outed as a cuck by Greg already, you guys all asking for the Larry files, I'm going to show them to you. But like I said in the beginning, you guys may have nightmares from this shit. But before I do, I want to explain a little bit of something. This is not meant to shame anybody about kinks. Listen, we're all human beings. Part of being a human being is we have all different kind of crazy shit that we like, right? Some crazier and weirder than others. And Larry's is, really crazy shit. But this is not meant to shame him. But saying that, okay, you can't go in life and destroy people's lives because of those kinks. All right, before I start, I need a little sip of coffee to handle this shit. When I tell you guys this shit's been giving me nightmares, I see Larry's face. I get sick thinking about this shit. Now, let's see. If you guys like the Larry files, I'm showing it to you. So don't say I didn't warn you, all right? All right, this is the first one that you
So here we go. And you know it's him because he sent a selfie.
guys saw on Greg's
So that's how you verify it's his real. It's really his number.
video. Larry sending a screenshot
Or
of
sorry, his real number. Sorry.
his face, right? Showing that he's a cuck. And he goes, "You think your OF members know I'm a cuck?" She goes, "Most likely. I can tell them." He goes, "How would you do that?" She goes, "A video or photo, and I can say Larry loves being a cuck. Who would help me?" Now, this is the part of the conversation
Damn it.
with the girl where Larry is revealing to her that, you know, it would mean a lot to him if she would do shit with other men. All right, so you understand the context. And she says to him, you know, "It feels wrong doing it when I'm going out with you. Like you sleeping with another girl. I would hate it." Larry goes, "That's why you'll love it, because it's wrong. But I'll love it more than you do. Ha ha ha." And she goes, "So would you, about sleeping with another girl?" He goes, "No, of course not." She goes, "I suppose it's not easy to understand what I enjoy. I know most men want to stick their D in everything that comes their way. So you'd only like me to do it, but you doing it with a girl is wrong, so it's the same?" And then he goes, "But then there are guys like me who want their girlfriends to get and send pics." And then he puts his arms up like what a girl does in her emojis, and he says, "I enjoy you being open and slutty. While I know I'll never touch another woman, it's how I'm wired. It doesn't excite me to sleep with another woman. It excites me more if you sleep with another man."
And now you guys see why his wife disrespects him so much. Now you see why. Now you see why.
Fucked up, right? I can't believe this shit I'm reading. This conversation alone plays me on my insecurities, so if I did it anytime soon, I would think, well, if we can do it with the guy, what if he goes and does it with another girl? So I have to be totally 100% secure to do this. See, so
Bro, even the girl is iffy about this shit, man.
Larry, this whole conversation, he's revealing to the girl, "I don't want to sleep with no other girls, but it's okay. You can do it with the other men because I like it." She says, "Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. As I said, I just have to learn that, and I totally trust it." He goes, "More time together, more trust, and more comfortable." Exactly, still building on the foundations of the relationship. I do believe we'll do it for sure and just laugh at it, but right now I'm not ready. He goes, "Maybe we can take baby steps in that direction." She says, "Of course, better. Slowly work towards it, at least to a point where you can talk about it comfortably." Yeah, I mean, physically, someone else is a huge step. See, so she's not totally into this. She doesn't understand why.
Yeah, they're like, bro, what the? He's the one pushing for. Yo, honestly, you know what now it all makes sense, bro. The reason why his girl says the dumb shit that she says and is so disrespectful is because he's probably let her smash dudes in front of him. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, bro.
He wants her to do this shit, right? So he's trying to convince her. "One day, I want you to text me about this kind of stuff and talk to me like a cuck. Thanks in advance." She says, "How so, master? Like I'm the submissive one, and you rub in my face how these guys did things with you. I haven't." Then he throws up the hands again. "What's with that girl shit emoji? I've been so clean with you. How does that make you feel?" He goes, "Inadequate." He wants this shit dirty. So this, I'm assuming, she did shit with the guy and filmed it because he wants to watch it. He goes, "Naughty Dobby, please send something from the video, Dobbs." And she goes, "It's too much. I will make another video one day." He goes, "Even if you screenshot and crop something from it, censor stuff in the background, can use an app to censor stuff in the background of the photo screenshot. I apologize for being persistent, but as you said, we don't know next time you will do something like this, and I feel there is definitely something that can be taken from that video and crop censors." She goes, okay, I will look. No, I totally get it. He goes, thanks, Dub. So he's really into watching all this shit. Then he sends her a text saying, Dick is waiting for you. Have been waiting in line after everyone on OF for you. She says he's the real simp. Larry goes, yes, I am. Look at this one. We can go now, he says. Okay, cool. I'll go out, put some clothes on. I got on my knees and kissed your feet after you had from other guy. Masty is feeling very grateful. She says, is Masty going to watch the videos of me being a... Yes, I'm watching now. I couldn't wait. I still can't believe all the shit I'm reading. Now this one is the sick one. I don't understand why somebody would want a woman's heel down there. All right, look what he says. He goes, I'm in front. Can Masty, what is this pet word? Can Masty under Dobby's heel? It'll be the most simp way to... She goes, no, not allowed to... He goes, okay, Dobbs. Now this one. Are you ready for this? She says, I've had 2 Ds already. He says, have you actually? Wow, babe, that's so hot. Did they both feel coming home? Okay. Is Masty gonna fill Dobby? Yes, Masty's gonna fall inside Dobby's. Did Dobby shower or anything? Since I was in the shower, but I didn't clean myself. He says, okay, perfect. Now this here is a message from a guy who messaged a girlfriend, right, of Larry, saying, I know he's been messaging other women. She says, oh, really? Show me. Look, I don't want to be a homewrecker. Just know he messaged my girlfriend, asking her if she'd ever thought about being a lifter/vixen. Sounds kind of weird. Then he unsent the message. So I'm not going to say what a vixen is, but it's very similar to a voyeur kind of thing. I can't say the shit on here. All right. So he's basically, finding girls on Instagram with the guy and asking if he can do something. All right. That's all I'm going to say. So this last one, okay, it's a conversation. I trust the source, but I'm not confirming this actually happened, but it's a funny story. He goes, I don't know what's worse, him stealing money or the girls at Mount Vernon Barbell that pegged him a few years back. So I guess him and Peggy are into the same old shit.
I guess him and Abba are closer than I thought.
Yep. Shit, but Larry, he's the real, Mount Vernon pegger, MVP in all of this. It's only a matter of time before that shit comes out too. I used to train at that gym and would hear the stories that this is going back like 6-7 years. Now, people, all right, I'm only reading a piece of these conversations. Like I said, I have massive amount of information and personal stuff about the other personal things of how it affected these girls, all this behavior. But I'm not putting that in this video. Like I said, if the girls want to come out and speak their story, they can. But that's all I'm going to read for you guys because I...
Respect. I mean, he's obviously, doing his investigative journalism without destroying these women's personal lives or whatever. I got to give him credit there. But yeah, bro, this is fucking crazy, man.
I think you guys have enough shit where now when you look at Larry, you're going to be sick from this shit too and have those nightmares.
Holy shit, bro.
So now...
That was bad. Jon Bravo texted me and said it was bad. But this was bad.
You guys know all this crazy shit about Larry, right? Well, all this shit that's going on online, all these clips, all these memes going around about, Larry being a cuck to Rampage Jackson because that stream they did.
Everything makes sense now, dude. Everything makes sense. That was the missing piece, man. Now we know why his wife doesn't respect him, bro. Let me tell y'all something, bro. If you're ever a cuck, your wife, your girl will never, ever fucking respect you to the same degree, bro. Well, women innately know that them having sex with another man is wrong, and for you to allow it means you're a faggot.
Looking at it now, after knowing the shit that you're going to be looking at it a little.
Like, there's something wrong with you sexually if you get off on your girl getting smashed by another dude. It should be literally the opposite. That's how I know something in your brain wiring is cooked. If you're getting off on your girl fucking another guy, it should infuriate you, not turn you on. You're literally mentally ill. I'm gonna say it. You are mentally ill if you get turned on by watching a woman that you like or love getting fucked by another guy. You are mentally fucking ill. I'm gonna say it. You are fucking need to be checked into an asylum. You are right below a tranny in craziness. Mental illness, chat. Mental fucking illness. If you have a woman that you care about and you like watching her get fucked by other guys, you are mentally ill. Just like that. Because that goes against your natural male tendencies to be territorial with your woman. It is natural for you to be repulsed by whores, and it's also natural for you to not just be repulsed by whores, but to be angered by a woman that you trusted and you find out that she's a whore. So for you to get the opposite effect and get turned on, you are fucking mentally ill up here, dude. And I guarantee you guys, this probably became even more amplified from his steroid use, bro. Yo, using steroids, dude, like, using steroids like fries your brain, dude. It's one of the biggest reasons why I never used roids ever and stayed a natty my entire life. Yeah, people might say, bro, do you even lift? Bro, but do you even, how about this? But I can think. You ain't gonna catch me with no weird fucking scandals like this, bro. Worst thing you niggas are gonna hear is like, Myron smashed me. That's the worst, right? Or some girl curved me, which everyone gets curved. I laugh when girls say I curved you. Like, bitch, like, nigga, the top dudes in the world get declined 90% of the time and they teach this shit. Women have zero idea of, dating statistics and how hard it is for men to actually close, but who cares what they think? But wanting your woman to get smashed by other niggas is crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy.
Differently now when I tell you this story. Remember the video with Rampage and Larry's wife when she was twirling her hair, playing with her tits, giving him those googly eyes?
Where I'm going after the Philippines? I gotta go to Guatemala later on that month. You ever been to Guatemala? Yes, sir.
Everyone thought she was doing bad shit behind Larry's back, like a Sharmuta would. But what if Larry was promoting this love affair? Larry even tells him to get on top of his wife.
My wife knows lots of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, now we know why he was throwing these hints here and there.
You know jiu-jitsu?
Let's try it out, man.
No. Brother.
Can you see the
Even Rampage is uncomfortable.
way that Rampage gives him that look with the eye on the side? Like he doesn't want to give up his secret? Looks to me like they might have had a little bit of too much fun together outside the ring the night before.
Let me see. Hey, I don't want to roll with your wife, man. Bro, your wife hot as fuck. Yeah.
Bro, Rampage is showing his wife more respect than Larry is, bro. That should tell you something, man. Holy, bro.
I got no control over
My little thing.
But that wasn't all, because after that, that mat session, the training session they were all involved in, they went out to dinner together. Rampage, Larry, his wife, and there was a lot of awkward moments on the table. And at one point, Rampage was asked, why doesn't he go on Discord? And he said, you know what? I'm too busy streaming and then he turns, he looks at Larry's girlfriend and gives her the side eye again.
I don't get it. I don't know what they put in my Discord. I don't even be looking at my Discord. I'll be too busy streaming and streaming and hanging out.
That's right.
That's away from you.
Oh no, I don't mess with married women.
Bruh.
Got it, man.
Now that we saw those text messages, everything hits different. Yo, Johnny Bravo was the missing fucking piece of Exodia, bro. Bro just pieced everything together with this one. Holy.
Then after that, they're still all sitting on the table talking to the chat. Somebody brings up P. Diddy. And once his name is...
Yeah, bro. Nigga is the fitness industry P. Diddy, man. Facts. I'll read chats at the end, guys. I'll probably have to speed through them, though. I'm not going to lie.
Brought up. I wonder why. Look how awkward things got even more now.
Diddy booty is fine.
No, Diddy booty.
That's
his nickname.
Diddy booty.
Diddy booty Jackson. That's what they call it. Diddy booty Jackson. Hey, she doesn't know. She's a foreigner. I'm introducing.
I know about Diddy, but I didn't know Diddy booty.
Oh, now you know about Diddy.
Also, guys, Josie told me to ask you guys to tag her on Telegram and to give her ideas for emotes and shit like that.
Jackson.
Did you ever go with your career to these freakouts, party parties?
No judgment. Just
Yeah,
curious.
this is the same stuff. Some lotion?
Let's go. They're gonna blow you up.
And then the best part, right? Larry, he goes, you know what? I would have went to the P. Diddy party. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, We all know how much you love rubbing yourself in oil for the bodybuilding shows. Of course you're gonna rub yourself all over in that shit at a P. Diddy party, you asshole.
I mean, if Diddy invited me, I maybe would have gone. I was single at the time. I mean, I would have, you know.
Bumblecard!
You showed up, see what it's all about. Just check it out.
Yeah, you really saw what it was all about.
I think everybody would.
No, I mean, yeah, back then. No, yeah, back then, but now knowing what Diddy was up to,
Yeah.
would you think of?
Yeah, you would lose respect. Like, people judge you all kinds of ways. People knew you were at the party. So before this came out, if he Diddy invited you.
You would, because you didn't know what he was up to. But now you know what he's up to. He like dudes, his nipples.
Oh, I didn't hear about all that.
Oh, okay, you didn't hear about it. Okay. Diddy like men, bro. Did you hear about that?
No, for my
So after that whole fiasco, Larry and his wife, they went on their Kickstream Live again, right, begging for donations. And people were teasing him about that whole Rampage thing, right? And for no reason, no one said anything about being a cuck. Larry had to volunteer and say, listen, I'm not a cuck. And if you really look into what he's saying, now we know why he was bringing it up out of nowhere, just like Greg said.
I mean, he's fine, but no, he's not my type, for sure not. He was very nice and entertaining, but in that particular clip where I'm like touching my hair, I can tell I'm like fully zoned out, and it was just funny. But
Despite what was said with those clip farming clips, I am not a cuck. For anyone out there wondering, there is no couplery going on here in this marriage.
in a weird position, I don't know what to say.
The truth.
So in the end, you know, and I've spoken about this before in other videos, I believe this is a perfect example of what happens when you are a 16-year-old kid, you go on copious amount of performance-enhancing drugs, and how dangerous it is and how much it can control your brain and your thoughts and can change them, you know. And I know
It fucks you up, man. Absolutely fucks you up.
Derek More Plates, More Dates spoke about this. Greg Doucette spoke about this.
I mean, look at the Liver King. He's crazy now. Liver King ruined his fucking career from being a dumbass on drugs, bro. Like, yo, this shit fucks you up, man. Absolutely fucks you up. Yeah, good. Yo, let's start at like 11:10.
Mike Israel, that asshole, he even spoke about this, how much it can affect you. And, you know, even for me, I remember, I spoke about it. I told you guys about this before. I took Tren one time for, I think, 3 weeks. And, you know, no shame if you like the bigger girls. But I was, you know, normally I'm not really attracted to the very, very big ones. But I took that shit and I got attracted. So it fucked me up, wired my brain differently. You know, thank God since then I've recovered. But imagine you're doing this to a 16-year-old person just out of puberty. Imagine how it can affect you. And I think Larry is a perfect example of that, and a cautionary tale for kids not to mess with all this shit. So now, Larry, you know, like I said, you know, we all have kinks. Nothing to be ashamed of. Some we like crazier shit, and others just part of being a human, right? But you can't go and start destroying people's lives like you have because of those kinks. And, you know, I'm hoping that you've gotten older, you have matured, and, you know, those people that you have hurt, you know, I believe they deserve closure in their lives because their lives were affected by your actions. And saying that, you know, seeing you with this new girl, she's your wife now, you know, I was thinking, you know, maybe you did.
And just so you guys know, he met her in Dubai and she was a flight attendant, bro. Two big red flags. And Eastern European girls that are in Dubai are usually sluts. If you run into a Ukrainian girl, a Russian girl, this chick is Serbian, same shit. If you run to an Eastern European girl in Dubai, high likelihood she's a whore. Keep it a million with y'all. And she's a flight attendant, which we know is a whore profession. Yeah, bro. Streets, man. Streets. 100% streets. And you see how much she's an attention whore and shit like that? She has all the fucking makings of a 304, bro.
Find the perfect girl for you because maybe she's into all the same exact things as you. And hopefully, you know, she's not going to be hurt like the other people are. As far as, you know, the other people that were affected, I believe, Larry, I think you should, you know, give them closure, you know, say sorry, because you have deeply affected their lives. And again, this video wasn't about shaming. And if you guys, you know, spit out your...
Nah, man, sometimes you got to shame these motherfuckers, man. Johnny's too nice. Okay, let me read through some of these chats